So one of the hardest things ever when you're starting photo and video or just doing it full time in general, especially when you're starting out, is finding gigs. Finding gigs is the hardest thing to do because they come from everywhere, but at the same time, there's just so many people that can do it for them. Getting gigs is hard. So I want to teach you guys today how to stand out from others and get those gigs and start making money today doing what you love to do. So if you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I'm sure you won't regret it. Let me know in the comments below. How many gigs are you getting? What situation are you in? Are you in the situation where you haven't got a paid gig yet and are trying to get into it? Are you in the situation where you've had a few but trying to get more? Or are you already set and getting a ton of gigs and are full-time and just want to learn a little bit or go back and, reflect? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get started. So first of all, let's talk about finding the clients. How do you find clients? How do you get your name out there? And what's the best way to do it? Personally, I started off with word of mouth. Word of mouth was the best thing to ever happen to me. For the first 2 years of me actually going in and knowing that this is what I wanted to do, I didn't charge anything. I didn't charge at all. I literally did everything for free just so I could get my name out there, get recognized, put my name into people's mouths, and start talk. I wanted people to start talking about me like, hey, David does this and that, and David does this, or you should hire David for that. And I was like, this is good. Eventually, after 2 years, I was in a point where I think I could start charging. So I started charging slowly, low prices, and then eventually started climbing up. Finding those clients was easy for me because after 2 whole years, I was able to get recognized for my work and people were talking about me, and at some point I hit 10K on Instagram and the growth was insane. Social media really helped me out. Word of mouth really helped me out, and all of this stuff all came from just networking. I was able to give people things that they wanted in return for recognition, pretty much. From there, finding clients was easy, but it doesn't work that way for everyone. So a lot of times I had to reach out, I had to send emails, I had to DM people. Working with people is your best way to get out there because your network is your work. You need to be able to talk to people. You need to learn that building a relationship, a long-term relationship with someone is going to be so much more valuable than getting paid $300 on the spot, Building that relationship is going to do so much more for you, can bring so much more money in for you than actually just taking the money from them that one job and then just leaving. But now, once that you've actually got someone interested in you and have them talk to you or send you an email and interested in working with you, now you have to actually lock in that gig, because a lot of times another reason why people have such trouble locking in gigs is because when it comes to actually talking to the client, talking prices, talking details, talking work, they don't know where to begin. They don't know how to talk money. They don't know how to offer different services or explain why something might cost a certain price, other than, oh, my gear costs $5,000, my lens is another $2,000, and then I got to drive and I got gas. That is really cliche. Honestly, I find it kind of annoying when people say that. Like, I get it. It's expensive equipment, it's expensive career, but it's something that kind of, goes into everything. So you should just charge based off that. That's not a valid reason to charge this person a specific price. There's so much more that can go into it, and there's so much better explanations. Let's talk about how to talk to people. So when you're doing business with people, you gotta keep in mind, they are also people. People are all the same. People are like you. What you find annoying, others will find annoying too. What you find snobby, other people will find snobby. If you handle everything like money, business, people see the greed. People see everything, because you got to keep in mind, people are also people. They're not just someone else that has to, you have to go through, because they have to go through you too. It's like two-sided, not just one-sided. So you got to remember, when you're talking to someone, don't be like a robot. Give some personality, build a relationship with them. You don't want to go and be like, hey, all right, so let's do business. So I can bring this much amount of money in for you. I can bring this many customers in for you. And yeah, so you should hire me. No, you don't want to talk about money when you just run in like that. You got to, build a relationship with them, talk to them, kind of figure out who they are as a business, who they are as a person, who they are as a client. Kind of run through and be like, okay, so I see that this might be the problem with your brand. How about I provide you with this solution? And they're like, okay, so he knows our problem and he wants to provide this solution. You talk over the solution, they're like, oh, that sounds amazing. And then you let them know the difference between choosing you and choosing someone else. There's a few things that people are gonna go into: knowledge, experience, and just you as a person, because people are definitely going to look for long-term relationships, because I know how annoying it is to just keep looking for different people. Like, okay, so we need a videographer for this one, and then we need a new one for next month, and then we need a new one for next month, because I don't want to stick with the same person. Because a lot of times, if you shoot and you do a good job, if they like you as a person, if they like what you do and they know you're good at what you do, you have that first chance to prove to them. That first time you sit down with them, you have that chance to prove with them, I want to be in this long-term relationship with you and your brand, and I want to work with you guys. So let's see where we can take it. That long-term relationship is something that everybody's going to want, because everybody wants someone that they can rely on. So if they're like, okay, we're gonna need a videographer once a month, every month. If we can find that long-term relationship with one videographer that we love their work, we know that they're not gonna break the bank too much, and we know that they can provide it on X amount of time, and they know this much and they know what they're doing, I'm definitely down to pay this amount of money to be able to use them every single month and not have to keep searching and, you know, taking risks with our content, because consistency is key and everybody knows that. So to be able to provide that relationship is something that you really need to learn how to do. You don't just go in there talking about straight business. You build that relationship. You give some personality, you give some character, because that character is going to show when you're talking to them, because they're people too and they can see it. Not everybody's just a robot. Not everybody's just a figment of your imagination, because that's not how the world is. So that is how you're going to catch those clients and bring them in. After you've locked in the client, after you have got that first client, now you gotta worry about getting more clients. But that's the thing. How you handle this first client might dictate how you get others. Because remember how I said a lot of my stuff is through word of mouth? That's because on my first client, my first wedding job, my first small business job, my first restaurant job, my first music video, I was recommended here and here and here and there and there and here, because they liked what I do. They noticed that I built that relationship. They enjoyed shooting with me, so they recommended me to their friends. And then after shooting with their friends recommended me to their friends. And then eventually it just branches out into all these other places and you get more work. So that is how I land my gigs. I don't even have to send out emails anymore. I used to sit there, I used to DM people, send out emails, but now I kind of just sit here, get a DM or get an email or just get a phone call, and they're like, hey, we'd like to book you for this. Our friend recommended you and we would love to have you help out with that. And honestly, it's a pretty amazing process, and this all happened over the course of 2 years. So 2 years of free work, 2 years of paid work so far, and it's going to continue to prosper from there. And it all started off with me making virtually nothing. Now I'm making a whole living because I'm a full-time photographer and videographer, and I'm able to now sustain my own life off of just this. So it really just takes time. So remember, guys, it's a slow and steady race, so don't rush to it. Of course you can rush, but at the same time, if you rush, you may not build those long-term relationships, and it's really just all about patience. So really just take it easy, go through it, curate your work, really mold yourself into the person that you want to be, and make that content that looks absolutely insane. Take your time with them and make friends. Just network with people, because that's really how the world goes around. Making that friend, networking with those people, and meeting their friends, making more friends. Anyways, that's all for today's video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you like this video, and drop me that comment below. Let me know what's your situation right now, and maybe if you want to learn something else, let me know what else you want to learn in the comments below, and I might make a video on it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much. Have a morning, day, morning, night, or wherever you're watching from. And I'll see you then. Peace. There's a lot of annoying clients too. You gotta keep that in mind. Just stay safe out there, guys. Don't get lost in the sauce. And just have fun. Just really enjoy what you do. It's not about the money, it's about creativity.